Hello guys, welcome to my channel and today I'm here to talk about episode number 14 of Mushoku Tensei. So this was an amazing episode. Like this episode definitely cemented this show as not a typical isekai. It isn't a surprise at this point. Like I was sure that this isn't your normal isekai. It's way different than that and way better than that. But this episode definitely cemented it. Like it's not your typical isekai. So let's just get into the episode. So as we all know, like Rudy, he was captured and he was thrown in a prison. Although he wasn't being tortured or anything, he was just thrown in a prison, and he was stripped of his clothes for some reason. We don't get the reason in this episode. I don't think so we're gonna get the reason because I don't think so there's a reason for him being stripped and just thrown into prison, because the other prisoner that was thrown in with Rudy, he was still wearing his clothes. Just Rudy was naked, and I'm just getting tired of complaining about this kind of shit. Like, why did they have to do it? I know there's no reason for it. I just told you, I don't think so there's gonna be any reason for it. If they end up giving a reason in the next episode, I'll eat all my words and say I was wrong. I'll admit it. But I'm pretty much sure there wasn't any reason for it. They just wanted to do it because it's Mushoku Tensei. So I'm gonna always keep on complaining about this kind of stuff that happens in the show because it is a problem. Always said it that it is a problem until and unless it is fixed. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. So with like that was all the negative about this episode. Rest of it amazing, fantastic. So Rudy was thrown in a prison and Ruijerd and Eris weren't able to come and save him in time, kind of, because they were busy dealing with the other person that went after Ruijerd, because he also misunderstood that Ruijerd was kidnapping these kids. So yeah, there was a misunderstanding there, and then protecting them from other, the slave traders, trying to get rid of the slave traders. That took their time. That's why they were late in coming to save Rudy, but I'm glad they were late because we got some amazing scenes because of that. So Rudy, he escaped because the village was being attacked. And one thing before I move on, I just don't know why I didn't notice in the previous episode, but this is definitely the village where Ghislaine is from, right? Let me know if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty much sure this is the village where Ghislaine is from, right? So I don't know, I just didn't notice that in the previous episode, but here I finally noticed that. So that's something. And now Rudy was escaping and he wanted to save the children. Of course he would, because the whole forest was burning. And we know Rudy is a kind person, even though he said that let's just make them all as one. He always goes on with that mindset, like he will do things if he has something to gain from it. He will definitely do that. But it is also like he does it from kindness of his heart, which we see later where he was letting that other person go with the kid. But then he was, because he said, I'm not Ruijerd. I'm not gonna risk my life for some kids I don't even know. But at the end of the day, he ended up saving them. So we know what kind of person Rudy is, even though he shows that he's something different, but we know he's a kind person. And that fight was just amazing, from the animation to the fight choreography and everything. Like it was just fantastic. It was just eye candy at that point. And I'm like, Rudy, he has the power of the eye of the foresight, we know that, and I was kind of worried that might be a little bit broken. But as I said in the previous episode, that like he can see what's gonna happen, but that doesn't mean he will be able to react in time. And that's something that happened. He saw that the knife was going to come and hit him, but he wasn't able to react in time because he just cannot react that fast. And I think so he was mid-air, so he couldn't do anything about it, even though he knew what's gonna happen. So I guess that's one way of balancing his ability. And also this was, I think so, his second time using it, but there wasn't anything where it was like his like time of seeing in the future increased or anything. And I hope that doesn't end up being the case. Like so far 1 or 2 seconds, that's all he needs. I think so that should be enough. I hope the timing does not increase and it stays this way, because this way the power is also balanced, it's not broken, and everything's also fine. And like Eris can also train more and become faster than Rudy, so that Rudy cannot react, and that will kind of not overshadow her hard work. So that's also good. And he ended up using a spell, kind of a really big explosion happened, but nothing happened to the surroundings. which I'm willing to ignore. It's anime, it's alright. That's not a complaint I have, but that's just something I noticed. Like, there was such a big explosion and just nothing happened to the surroundings, so it's alright. And the person that Rudy fought, he was the same person that helped them like smuggle Ruijat from one place to another. And also, at first when we meet him in the previous episode, we think he's just kind of like, he transports stuff from here to there and can do some like shady stuff in the back end where he can just smuggle things and people too. But here we see like he's quite strong. Like, he, in terms of fighting skill wise, he was really strong. But of course, Rudy won because of his eye of foresight, the dog helping him, and the other person that took Rudy in, him helping, and the other prisoner that was introduced, who I, by the way, like a lot. I think so. Like, his character was really fun, and I would like to see more of him. I don't know if he's gonna join their party and travel with them. I would hope that he does, and would like to see him there, because then the dynamic of the group becomes even more fun, and it's gonna be enjoyable. At the end of the day, I enjoyed his character a lot, so would like to see more of him. And now for the final part, that was like, that scene was which like that made me realize like, yeah, this is definitely not your typical isekai anime. It is way more than that, because the world is just so big. Because a lot of plot points are happening together. Like, we see Eris's grandfather, he was killed. We don't know the reason for that, and he was killed. So now what happens when Eris finds out about that, and how would Rudy react? And also like what would like Eris's father do? Like, does he know that his father got killed? Like, we don't know about that. We don't know what Paul is doing currently, and also Roxy, if she will be able to find Rudy or not. There's a lot of stuff happening all together, and that's, to me, like, that is one of the positive points for any story, when there are a lot of plot points happening together. I really like that, and the same is going on with Mushoku Tensei. So yeah, this show, definitely have really high hopes for it now. I even though enjoyed the first season a lot, but this episode was like, just cemented it as a really, really top tier show. So I'm just looking forward to where the story goes, and let's see what happens. Let me know what did you guys feel about this episode in the comments below. I will be here for episode number 15 next week. So till then, have a great time. I'll meet you in the next one.